Hello everybody, and welcome to an update on the tropics. Currently we have a total of 3 storms, 1 remnants of Tropical Storm Fred. We have Tropical Storm Henry southeast of Bermuda with winds of 65 miles per hour. And finally, we have Hurricane Grace, which became a hurricane around 10 o'clock this morning. It has got maximum sustained winds of 75 miles per hour. I'll be focusing in on Grace mostly in this video, as this is going to be the storm that I believe is going to have the most impacts across, mainly in Mexico, on land pretty much. So first we're going to look at the cone, and currently maximum sustained winds of 75 miles per hour, is moving west-northwest at 15 miles per hour, and you have tropical storm warnings for the Cayman Islands, tropical storm watches for southwestern Cuba, and then hurricane warnings on the eastern part of the Yucatan Peninsula, tropical storm warnings on the north and northwest parts of the Yucatan Peninsula. And it is projected to hit just south of Cozumel as a hurricane, a Category 1 hurricane, tomorrow morning. And then after it moves across the peninsula, it's expected to move into the Gulf of Mexico in the Bay of Campeche and make landfall between Tampico and Veracruz, Mexico, Saturday morning. So we're going to look at spaghetti models on Hurricane Grace, and all of the models have Hurricane Grace crossing across the northern Yucatan Peninsula from Cancun through south of Cozumel, and then after it moves off the Yucatan Peninsula, the models diverge vastly. However, most of the model members take it between north of Veracruz and Tampico, Mexico, with 3 members taking it toward northeastern Mexico, and 1 even taking it towards the Mexican South Texas border, and then you have another outlier that takes it to Louisiana. Now, in terms of strength, 07 AL, that is Hurricane Grace. So right now it is at 75 miles per hour. Most of these models have it maintaining Category 1 strength, strengthening it a little bit over the next 24 to 60 hours, with several models taking it towards toward a Category 2, some of them taking it to a high-end Category 2, and even a couple models taking it to a very low-end Category 3 major hurricane in the next 60 hours. So we could have we're gonna have a hurricane in the southern Gulf, but it could even be a major hurricane if some of these more northern end models verify. I'll be taking a look as to why I personally think it could become much stronger than what Hurricane Center is saying. This is a map of wind shear, which is the change of direction of wind with height, and wind shear is very bad for tropical systems. But Hurricane Grace is right here, and you'll notice that it's in an area of very, very low wind shear. Wind shear of under 10 knots. Wind shear of under 20 knots is favorable for strengthening, but you have almost no wind shear, and the shear tendency is decreasing it even more. And you can see between its current location, the Yucatan Peninsula, and even into the Gulf after it leaves the Yucatan Peninsula, there is almost no wind shear to impede the storms from continuing to stay around the center of the hurricane. So I believe that this has a good chance of rapid intensification this afternoon before it hits the Yucatan Peninsula. So I think that Grace is going to hit near Cozumel as a Category 2 hurricane with possibly even a Category 3. So if you guys are in the Yucatan Peninsula, watch Grace very carefully, because I believe rapid intensification is going to occur with this storm due to the lack of wind shear. And finally, I'm going to show you the infrared satellite. The infrared satellite is showing a well-developed storm, and the center is protected from a lot of any outside influence such as dry air and wind shear. It's a well-symmetrical storm, and you can see the high cirrus fanning out on the southeast side and a little bit on the northern side, indicates a healthy tropical storm that is not, or a healthy hurricane that's not battling wind shear. And finally, the reason why I think it's going to strengthen a lot, possibly rapidly intensify, is because on the water vapor imagery, it's mostly shielded from dry air, except on the northwest side. Now, this little area of dry air could limit rapid intensification a little bit, but it'll likely strengthen quite a bit before making landfall in the Yucatan Peninsula. Meanwhile, we have Tropical Storm Henry. Briefly cover it before the video ends. And currently it is located southwest of Bermuda, probably about 200 miles or so, and it's moving west at 8 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 65 miles per hour, and will continue moving west through about Friday morning, and then it's going to curve northeast and strengthen to a hurricane by Friday morning. And actually, areas along the New England coast, you're going to want to watch Tropical Storm or Hurricane Henry, because you guys are in the western end of the cone of uncertainty, and you guys could be having some impacts. And this is going to be a low-grade Category 1 hurricane, I believe, with winds of 90 miles per hour as it moves northeast toward New England and Nova Scotia. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching my tropical update here on Grace and Henry, and have a wonderful afternoon.